There comes a moment in life when the frequency starts to fail you. The money, the pressure, the expectations, the titles. All the things that were supposed to make you feel certain somehow leave you feeling further away from yourself. And that is when a deeper question begins to rise. Not, how do I become successful? But what was I actually made to do? Because the day you stop chasing borrowed signals, maybe the day you finally begin to hear your own. Welcome to the Human Frequency TV. Stories, reflections, and truths that explore the deeper signal connecting human beings, the animal and plant world, and our earth itself. Connecting purpose, struggle, courage, compassion, and the unseen patterns that shape our lives. Why so many people feel lost? Most people are not lost because they lack intelligence. They're not lost because they're lazy. And they're not lost because they have nothing to offer. They're lost because they have been taught to build a life around the wrong measurements. External applause, social comparison, survival without reflection. A version of success that looks acceptable from the outside but feels heavy once you're living inside it. So the real question is not simply how to find your purpose in life. The real question is how to separate your true signal from the noise. The first test. What makes time disappear? The first place to look is surprisingly simple. What do you do that makes time disappear? What pulls you in so deeply that the hours move like minutes? What leaves you absorbed, focused, calm, and fully alive? It could be writing, building, teaching, designing, solving problems, cooking, organizing chaos, helping people to feel more seen, fixing what others tend to avoid. This matters because purpose often leaves a trail before it fully reveals itself. And one of the earliest signs is flow. That state where your mind, your body, and attention move together without any friction. You're not forcing yourself through it. You're meeting something inside it. In nature, you can see this everywhere. Birds do not need permission to migrate. Roots do not debate whether they should reach for water. A river does not ask if it's allowed to move towards the sea. There's a kind of intelligence aligned in movement. And when something absorbs you that completely, it's often worth paying attention to. It's the second test. Well, what comes naturally to you? It's this question. What do people come to you for that feels almost too easy? What do friends, colleagues, family members, or even strangers trust you with? Is it advice? Is it calm in a crisis? Is it problem solving? Explaining difficult things simply? Seeing patterns that others miss? Encouragement? Repair? Leadership, taste, precision? Very often your natural gift feels ordinary to you precisely because it lives inside you every day. You assume it's common. You assume everyone can do it. You assume it's nothing special. But that's usually not true. What feels natural to you may be rare to someone else. What feels small to you may be life-changing to another person. A lot of people overlook their purpose because they keep searching for something dramatic while ignoring the thing that has been quietly obvious for years. The third test. What problems are you no longer willing to ignore? Now comes the third question. And this is where purpose stops being personal preferences alone and starts becoming responsibility. What problem bothers you so deeply that you just can't scroll past it? What injustice, inefficiency, wound, or broken pattern in the world keeps pulling at your attention? What makes you think someone needs to do something about this? Maybe it's loneliness. Maybe it's poverty. Poor leadership, waste. Maybe it's a broken education system, or someone living without hope. It could be the quiet suffering that never makes the headlines. This matters because purpose is rarely just about what you enjoy. It is also about what you feel called to confront. There's a difference between irritation and calling. Irritation passes, calling stays. And when a problem keeps returning to your spirit, sometimes it's not there merely to upset you. Sometimes it's there to recruit you. Where the three signals meet. Now let's bring the three together. What do you love enough to lose track of time? What do you do well enough that others naturally seek you out? What problems matter to you enough that you want to help solve it? That intersection is powerful, because where joy, usefulness, and responsibility meet, purpose often begins to take form. Not always at once, or always as a perfect job title. Not always as some grand revelation under dramatic music. Sometimes it begins quietly, as a pattern, a pull, as a repeated theme in your life, a growing realization that things you thought were random were actually pointing in the same direction all along. That is often how real alignment begins, not with performance, with recognition. What purpose actually feels like. When you begin to move in that direction, something changes. The work may still be difficult. You may still get tired. You may doubt yourself at times. But the effort stops feeling empty. It stops feeling like pure survival. You begin to sense meaning in the strain. Energy starts to return. Your mind becomes clearer. Your decisions become cleaner. Because now you're not just working. You're expressing something true. And that changes the texture of a life. If this kind of reflection speaks to you, subscribe to the Human Frequency TV. This is a channel for people searching for what is real beneath the surface, through story, insight, struggle, growth, and the deeper frequency that connects us all. So, ask yourself honestly, what makes time disappear for me? What do people trust me for? What problem am I no longer willing to ignore? Sit with those questions properly. Not for 10 seconds, not as a performance, but with honesty. Because purpose is not always something you invent from nothing. Very often, it is something you uncover. Something that has been waiting beneath the distraction, fear, and noise. And when those three signals begin pointing in the same direction, what once felt like confusion can start to become clarity. What once felt like pressure can start to become path. And what once felt like a lost life can start to become a meaningful one. Thank you for being here with the Human Frequency TV once again. These are stories of courage, compassion, and resilience, and meaning that reminds us of the deeper signal connecting humanity and the greater world around us. If you have a story you'd like for me to read, submit it to lifeofvicarious@gmail.com. Thank you.